In September 2023, I lost 15 pounds in 2 weeks. Not because I was trying, but because my body literally stopped processing food. I had just finished building my biggest ever event, Success Becomes Me, for the first time. And while I needed to show up and sell my offer in the days following that event, I spent day after day after day procrastinating. All I could do was retreat and disappear from life. And during that time, I was so fucking hard on myself. I was shaming myself. I was belittling myself. I was trying day after day to force myself to show up in my business. And I'm wondering, can you relate to any of this? How do you talk to yourself when you're procrastinating? In that moment, I thought my procrastination had won. And then I remembered something, which is the basis for today's episode. Today, I want to challenge something that you have probably believed your entire life, that your procrastination is the problem. But what if I told you that procrastination is actually a lie? It is not the problem. It is not the diagnosis. It's actually a symptom. It's a clue that is pointing you to something deeper that needs your attention. Just like a fever is not the flu, procrastination is not laziness, and it is not a lack of motivation. Oftentimes, it's a sign of misalignment or fear or even self-protection. So in today's episode of Big Goal Energy, I'm going to show you what's really going on beneath the surface when you keep putting things off. And I'm going to give you some tools to decode it so that you can get yourself unstuck and get yourself back in motion. And I'm going to transparently share with you the rest of my story from the inaugural Success Becomes Me event in 2023, because the truth is that within 60 days of what I just shared with you, I gained the weight back, thank goodness, and I did $75,000 in sales. And it did not come from me forcing myself to just get over it or forcing myself to just take action. So let's dive into today's episode.
You were never meant for a small life. You have bold ideas, audacious dreams, and visions that keep you up at night. But the truth is, big goals don't come with step-by-step instructions, and success doesn't come from doing more. It comes from becoming more. Welcome to Big Goal Energy, a podcast for high-achieving women who are done shrinking, striving, and second-guessing, and are ready to defy reality in pursuit of the life they actually want. I'm your hostess, Bree Seeley, goal architect, subconscious strategist, and your permission slip to want what you want. Join me as we go beyond the surface level success to explore the mindset, identity, and inner work required to bring your biggest, most delulu goals to life. This is your space to be seen, to be expanded, and to remember that you are not alone on this journey. Let's get into it.
Imagine with me quickly going to the doctor with a severe issue. And I'm going to share a really personal example here. So when I was in college, I had uncontrollable itching inside my body after taking a shower. The heat from the shower would trigger this intense itching, but it was like inside my muscles. So no itch on the surface of my skin could scratch it. There was no rash because it wasn't my skin. It was inside of me. I went to the doctor and he very clearly identified, oh, your body's having an allergic reaction. It's releasing all of these histamines, but not the corresponding antihistamines to block the itch. So here, take this drug. I was, 18, 19 years old. Never once did he think to ask what is causing the itching. And at 18, of course, I didn't think to ask either. And I wouldn't find out until 5 years later. Yes, I spent 5 years dealing with the most painful itching that felt like tiny bugs crawling on my insides every time I got out of the shower. It caused this allergic reaction, and I found out 5 years later that it was, in fact, gluten. Now, that would have been really helpful, right? Because back when he told me that it was histamines, but no antihistamines, he gave me a drug. And while I tried to take the drug he prescribed me, it caused intense drowsiness. So I would either sleep through every alarm in college, or I'd manage to wake up, go to class, and then pass out in the lessons. So I stopped taking the drug and ended up just dealing with the symptoms without knowing the cause for years. I don't know about you. I'm not all about unnecessary suffering. We're pretty fucking over it, in fact. And I tell you all of this not because you need to know all of my medical history, obviously, but because it's likely that you are facing unnecessary suffering right now in the form of procrastination. Today, if you hear nothing else, please hear this. Procrastination does not mean that you are flawed. You are not broken. There's nothing wrong with you because procrastination's actually not the problem. It's the symptom. It's trying to give you information or data about what's truly going on. Just like me itching when getting out of the shower was trying to tell me, girl, you got an allergy inside of you. Stop taking the drugs and fix the root. And while 99% of the business coaches and leaders out there are going to tell you to just get over it and just do the goddamn thing, I'm not going to tell you that because you have clearly tried that and clearly it doesn't work or you wouldn't be here listening to this thing. So, how about today we identify and treat the root of the procrastination, not just the response. Cool? Cool, cool? Anybody in? All right. I want to start out first by busting a few myths about procrastination. And really, we're going to talk about quickly what procrastination isn't. So as I mentioned before, procrastination is not laziness. If you could, you would. Procrastination is also not poor time management. It is not a lack of ambition. And like I mentioned earlier, it's normal. So many high achievers procrastinate. And it's not because you don't care. It's because something deeper is going on. Something deeper is happening. If procrastination is the symptom, then what is the diagnosis? Because if we've been treating procrastination as the diagnosis and shaming ourselves with things like laziness, time management, lack of ambition, blah, 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 not caring about our businesses, not wanting it hard enough, right? Like you've heard all these narratives. If that's not the case and procrastination is not the diagnosis, it's the symptom, then what is the diagnosis? So I'm going to break down a few really common root causes for you to help you understand why you might be procrastinating. The first one that I think is probably one of the biggest ones, especially in today's world, is misalignment. You are avoiding taking the action because it's not the right action. Maybe the action gives you the ick. Maybe some coach out there told you that you have to do this action to be successful. Bullshit. Maybe you've convinced yourself that this is the only action that's available to you to get you to your goals. Again, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not being lazy. It's just not the right action. If you're having resistance to it, there's always two things I tell people to look at. It's either not the right action or one of the other ones that we're going to be getting to in just a minute. I don't want to spoil anything for you. Here is a prompt to help you reflect on whether or not misalignment is the diagnosis that is causing your procrastination. So I want you to reflect on this question. Is this action actually aligned with who I am and what I want? You may want to go back and revisit your core values. If one of your core values is connection and the action that you're looking at taking feels disconnected, well, obviously, you can't outperform your values. It doesn't work that way. If you are trying to do something in your business that doesn't fit you, It's like you're trying to force an extra small shirt on your business when it wears a medium, right? No judgment on you. You're doing what you've been told is the best way to succeed in business. It literally just doesn't fit you. It's data. Let's jump into the second possible diagnosis behind procrastination. This is a big one. It's fear. Could be fear of failure, could be a fear of success. Like, what happens after you succeed? Are people going to abandon you? Are people going to judge you if you've reached this goal? Are people going to leave your life? Are they going to think you're a different person? Which also then ties into fear of judgment and visibility. Fear of judgment can happen, obviously, from your current perspective or from your future perspective. And really, more than anything here in this section, I want you to recognize that procrastination is a protective mechanism for you to hold you back from, as your brain would tell you, dying, right? If you fail, if you succeed, if people judge you, if you're too visible. The prompt I want you to look at here is, what am I afraid might happen? One, if I do this, or two, if I actually succeed. Get into all the narratives you're telling yourself about failure, about success, about what others may think of you, about how you might lose people you love, or what others may say about you behind closed doors. And then I want you to look at the truth of these narratives. Quick little pro tip here. If you're struggling with this at all, hypnosis is a great tool that can help you identify, transform, and rewrite these narratives. We are going to take a quick break. I'm going to come back to you with the last two diagnoses for procrastination. And then we're going to talk about how to use procrastination as a signal and then ways to move forward and take steps after.
If you're listening to this and thinking, I wish I had more people in my life who just get it, you're not alone. Big goal energy women are rare. We're the ones dreaming big, defying norms, and refusing to settle. And that is exactly why I created the Big Goal Energy app. But it's more than just an app. It's a community, a safe, supportive space where ambitious women like you and me can gather, grow, and go after our biggest goals without judgment. Inside, you'll find real-time conversations, powerful tools and resources, and exclusive content you won't get anywhere else. And yes, direct access to me to support you on your journey. Whether you're building, dreaming, shifting, or scaling, you don't have to do it alone. Come join us inside the Big Goal Energy app and surround yourself with women who dream as delulu as you do. Download the app now or visit breeseely.com/community to learn more.
Let's dive into the third diagnosis of procrastination. And this is a big one. I see this one a lot. It's overwhelm and the lack of clarity. So overwhelm and lack of clarity can stem from your dream being big. You've got big goal energy. So looking at the totality of what you're moving towards can overwhelm your system. There can be way too many steps without a clear starting point. You could have decision fatigue. You could have 10 different pathways available to you right now and not know which direction to go in. And also, it could be a subconscious freeze response. This is such a common one. I have so many calls with women who feel overwhelmed, who have lack of clarity, who just don't know where to start. They don't know how to get there. It feels like way too many steps. The question I want you to ask yourself to understand if overwhelm and lack of clarity is the diagnosis for your procrastination is, what is one small step that I can take even if it's imperfect? Because that big picture can paralyze us, we want to break it down and look at what is one small step I can take today to just get me moving towards my goal. You don't have to take all the steps today. You're not going to climb Mount Kilimanjaro in a single step, but you are going to climb it from multiple small steps combined together. The last diagnosis that I want you to look at around your procrastination is an identity conflict. What this means is that your current self-image doesn't match the identity required to complete the task. And it's causing this inner resistance because you have not yet stepped into this new self-image, this new version of yourself. The question that I want you to ask yourself here to begin to identify if this is your diagnosis is, who do I need to become in order to take this action? And a secondary question, what belief do I need to rewire to support that shift? If you've listened to Big Goal Energy, you've probably heard about a past client of mine who desperately wanted to sell a $5,000 product, but she didn't believe she could because her identity was rooted in selling $27 and $77 products. She could not even bring herself to try launching a bigger offer or even tell anyone about a bigger offer because her identity was that she was a provider who sold low ticket offers. She had found value in that through her audience, and her audience had conditioned her to believe that she was not the person who could sell higher ticket offers. And so we struggled back and forth to get her to step into this new identity because she couldn't take a single step towards it. If you take nothing away from this episode, I want you to take this away. And that is that procrastination is merely feedback. Procrastination is data. Think of it like the bat signal. The bat signal pops up because someone's robbing something somewhere. You're not actually experiencing the robbery right now, but the bat signal is there to tell you that it's happening. The reframe that I want you to hold on to from this episode is that procrastination is feedback. And the next step is for you to ask yourself, what is this procrastination trying to protect me from? Is it trying to protect me from a fear? Is it trying to protect me from a new identity? Is it trying to protect me from taking actions that feel like shit? The biggest question is, what deeper truth is my procrastination revealing? Because your procrastination is not your truth. When you ask these questions, it is super important that you ask them with two things: curiosity and compassion. If you ask these questions with self-judgment, it's going to be a really difficult path for you to walk. I want you to open up and ask these questions with curiosity and compassion, like you were talking to a child. If you were to ask a child, what is this procrastination protecting you from? You wouldn't ask that with self-judgment. You would probably want to hug that child and say, oh, girl, don't be so mean to yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. The way you're going to shift from procrastination to progress is you're going to identify that root cause. I want you to use those categories, those 4 categories that I just mentioned, as a checklist. Ask yourself the questions in each of those categories. And then when you do, I want you to find a tool that's going to help you regulate your nervous system so that you don't slip back into that self-judgment. Whether this is you doing breath work, grounding yourself, pulling out some EFT and tapping, you have to get your nervous system, your body, to a state of calm so that you can shift your perspective and then actually take the action that is aligned, okay? The next step then is to shift your perspective. Try to connect with your why and that desired identity of the you who's already done the thing. And then lastly, make that first step just so small that it's hysterical, that it's laughable, and then do it. If you are truly, truly, truly ready to heal this once and for all, there are subconscious tools like hypnosis to actually change the patterning in your brain, to rewire the resistance and accelerate you to the identity of the person who has that result. I happen to have a procrastination hypnosis that can do this for you in under 30 days with daily accountability in under 15 minutes a day. If you're like, you know what? After 3 decades of procrastination, I'm done and I just want to clear it out. Hypnosis is going to help you do that. Visit breeseely.com/procrastinate. It's going to take you to that subconscious tool and give you the opportunity to truly heal procrastination, to heal the root cause. I want to invite you to actually just transform this. Pull the weed out of your subconscious mind. Give yourself permission to reclaim a new identity for yourself. Let's heal that procrastination once and for all because you have big goals. You have big, big goals. And this is an invitation for you to remove those invisible walls that are keeping you from building and living your big goals every single day. So again, you can go to breeseely.com/procrastinate. Don't forget to come join us in the Big Goal Energy app and subscribe to the podcast. I am so grateful you're here. We will be back next week with an incredible episode. I'm going to share with you some deeply personal things that I've been going through and some hints that the universe has been dropping on my pathway to elevate me into my next level of entrepreneurship. So I'm really excited to share this pathway with you. It's going to get a little quantum physics-y. So if you're into that thing, make sure that you are subscribed to the podcast. Thank you again for joining me for this episode. I'm Bree Seeley, hostess of Big Goal Energy, and I will see you in the app and on next week's episode.
If this episode lit something up in you, share it. Text it to a friend, post it to your stories, or leave a review because Big Goal Energy is meant to be felt far and wide. And if you're ready to go deeper, explore the tools, hypnosis sessions, and support because your vision deserves more than hustle, join us on the Big Goal Energy app by visiting your app store and typing in Big Goal Energy. Your vision, your goals deserve alignment, ease, and your fullest self behind them. Until next time, trust yourself, dream bigger, and never forget, you are here for greatness.